Like, give me an example if you don't mind. Just like paint me a
Hand
picture.
fighting, a hand
Hand
fight.
fighting, hand
So
fighting. Okay.
anything where the body's moving around. It doesn't matter. Your body doesn't know the difference between jogging, rolling, doing push-ups, or shaking, standing in place, shaking violently. To your body, it's all the same thing. So I guess the concern when we first enter an environment is we don't want anything to surprise us. So we want something like that we can easily attune ourselves to get the whole process started.
Okay, so you would start with some hand fighting, standing up. That's why it's kind of safe, right? They're warming up, they're building heat. And in the hand fighting, are they going 100% or it's like 50% and it's kind of like,
Well, I
you
don't
know,
know. I
because
have no way. I have no way to measure that.
no, I understand there's not an objective measure. I understand that. But the guys know each other, there's a rapport. Like, do they start hand fighting? Are they going with their full effort?
I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't think they would know either if we asked. So full effort, if we were to say that, it would have to be a metric, and we would have to some way to objectively say that they are working at that rate. We have no way to know that. So we do have some historical ways that we know that we can control that, and I've talked about this before. We control it with tasks. So having a simplified task, like just keeping the hands off you, for example. It doesn't
Hmm.
require like intensity to perform effectively. We can use time, so long time intervals tend to drop the intensity because it's hard to sustain higher levels of energy through longer periods of time. And then, of course, partner selection, understanding how the students interact with each other. Are they aggressive students? Do they have rapport with each other? All these things can affect the way two students engage. Like if I have a particularly aggressive student, I wouldn't want to put them with a passive student during a warm up, for example. That aggressive student might move too hard for the passive student, and that intensity could be too much for the athletes to handle.
Okay, but so there's a give and take, or there's no give and take. I'm trying my best to score on you, and I'm not gonna give you 1 inch. Or is there like a playful? I let the guy get the underhook, or is there like a give and take? Let's say I'm a black belt and I'm rolling with a blue belt, or I'm doing
So
a game with a blue belt.
again,
Do
that's
I
up to the
shut him
individual.
down? Do I
Well,
shut him
that's up to the
down?
individuals. However,
Oh,
they want to engage that day. That's not up to me. That's up to them.
okay, so
So typically, I design the game in such a way that the demands of the task are less intense. So, for example, fighting to get inside the elbows is not that intense, and both people
mhm.
have tons of opportunities to do it. Now, if I and again, partner selection is important. So, if I put a black belt with a blue belt, and that black belt doesn't like to lose, yeah, it might be pretty intense for that blue belt. So, if I wanted to lower the intensity for the blue belt, for example, I might switch partners.
So you're structuring it in a way that your intention of intensity doesn't matter. It's gonna be the rules are gonna dictate, how the practice goes, the rules of the game.
Well, it's the only thing that dictates it. A coach's words don't really do much. Like, even if I said to the room, like, okay, guys, go at 50%, everyone's 50% is different.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I
and so
got you.
rather than do that, we just give a low variability task demand and we let the room organize however it does.
Okay, okay, but what do you say? Like, I mean, there's so much drilling going on in jiu-jitsu. There's so much, and all grappling arts. I mean, and are you telling me that there it's all a waste of time? Is that what
Correct.
we're saying?
Yeah,
Really, huh? That's
100%.
incredible.
Yeah, I know. I thought the same thing when I first discovered it too. It's an absolute
Uh,
waste of time. It's just hard to
really?
convince people because people have this psychological predisposition called path dependency. It's a cognitive bias. So we're dependent on the path that we think will get us somewhere or took us somewhere. And this is reinforced by colloquialisms being repeated over and over and over again. Authoritative figures saying things must be done this way. There's a lot that goes into why we drill, and b- increasing skill is the least of it.
Really?
Yes.
I love it, man. Listen, I'm a very skeptical guy. I have a philosophy background, so believe me, I'm all about the critical thinking. I love it. I really do. But here's the thing, if you don't mind me saying, I think I like a blend of the two, okay? Because I don't call it games, we call it situation, we call it like positional sparring or
Yeah.
situation where the game is limited, okay? We're starting with single leg, the first guy to improve his position, and my games are much more vague, when we do positional sparring, it's not that precise. So we start with a single leg, like maybe I get a guy down to his hips, I control him for 3 seconds. We try to always encourage them to control. You have to stabilize the guy underneath you for 3 seconds. He didn't scramble back up to his feet. You stabilize it. Okay, you've improved your position. Stop and start again. And now we're doing a lot of single leg because I have a lot of time with my leg in my partner's grips and he's trying to take me down. And we're spending a lot of time in that position. Okay, so we'll call it positional sparring or situation. But I'm a big believer in drilling, if you don't mind me saying, because the thing is, I find they both bring something to the table. Not one of them brings something perfect. They're both two pieces of a puzzle that need to be brought together.